Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am showing you guys how I make my chocolate chip muffins for keto or lower carb and high fat. So what I started off with was just a 1 1/4 cup of almond flour. And just to show you guys at the beginning, of course, you guys saw like the main brands that I use for this recipe. And there are some things that I haven't shown and I will be showing to you guys later in this video that are obviously very important for the recipe, like the chocolate chips for instance. But I just show that to you guys whenever it comes up because there's just some things that I tend to forget to add at the beginning. So to start off this recipe, I am mixing in the almond flour with some salt, and the order is going to be a little different than I usually do. So instead of just doing the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients, I am going to be doing a little bit of here and there, kind of mixing it in a little bit differently just because I didn't want to have to wait for some things to cool down when I could just mix it all together at once and just kind of do them in a different order. So after mixing in my salt with my almond flour, I am then going to be getting 5 tablespoons of butter, and it doesn't really have to be exact, and we're just going to be melting that. And then I'm going to be getting my apple cider vinegar, my baking soda, and the cream of tartar, and we're going to be adding that to your melted and warm but not hot butter. And you will see why, because whenever we add this, obviously we're going to have a chemical reaction, and we definitely don't want it to be really hot when we're doing this because I don't want it to get messy or anything like that. So just make sure it's warm and not hot when you are doing this. Hopefully you guys can't hear too much of the noise in the background. It's been getting so hard for me to make my videos and everything because of all the traveling. Whenever I'm here, there's just so many more people, and it's such so hard to find a right quiet place. So I apologize if you guys hear a lot of random noises whenever I'm doing this. So yeah, that's me adding the cream of tartar, and then once I add in the vinegar, you're gonna see the reaction. And now you guys can see that it is all foamy and bubbly because of the chemical reaction that had just happened. And so now onto the next part. So back to the dry ingredients. Now I am adding in my 1/2 cup of swerve, and of course you guys can do this before as well. Mix all of the dry ingredients up together, and then I'm going to be making like a little hole in the middle. I kind of like to do this because I'm going to be adding in some of the wet ingredients, and I just kind of like to put it right in the middle of the flour and everything. So now that I made a little center, I'm just going to be adding in the 2 eggs, and then I am going to be adding in the rest right after, and then we'll be mixing it all together. But first I am going to be adding in the sour cream because sour cream is cool and I didn't want it to get hot and the eggs to be like a little warmed up by the butter because it was still pretty warm. So this is why I'm doing the eggs with the sour cream to keep those 2 cool things together. And then I'll be adding in the warm ingredients whenever we're mixing them all up together so that they don't have time to really like cook separately or anything like that. So later in this video, you guys are gonna notice that I totally forgot to put in the vanilla extract right after mixing this together. So later you guys will see that, but definitely do it during this time while you're mixing everything together. And yeah, so just don't forget about the little things in your recipes. Of course, it's going to be on my ingredient list, so it's just easier if you kind of mix all the cool things together and the warm things separately, and then just mix them all in together at once they're a little bit more cooler in temperature. So before you completely mix them all in, or even right after all this, I would definitely recommend turning on your oven to about 400 degrees. You guys can probably try doing 350 degrees just to be a little bit safer, and you'll see later in this video why. So this was my first attempt at making this, and it actually just came out perfect, but I would lower the temperature a bit unless your oven is a little bit different than mine. So I feel like this oven tends to be a little bit hotter, so I think that's why mine came out a little bit darker on the edges. But other than that, like, it still came out very good. Of course, you can always check when it's ready as long as you have a toothpick, and just put it right in the center. And then when you pull it out, just make sure that nothing gets stuck to it. It's nice and clean and dry. And that's whenever you know to go ahead and pull it out of your oven. So that's always the way that I check. It doesn't matter what time it is and stuff, because sometimes your ovens are just going to be different. So I just recommend checking it about 5 minutes before any recommended time for any recipe, and that's going to help you get the right perfect muffin or cookie or cake or whatever you're making. So another thing that I did forget to add, as you guys just saw, was the water, and of course that's going to be in the recipe as well, so you guys will see that, but just don't forget to add that in as well. So of course then you're going to want to put them in the muffin pans whenever you're ready. However, before, for some reason, I guess I forgot to record, or I just lost the video footage, but you just want to mix in your Lily's chocolate chips of half a cup of Lily's dark chocolate chips. And of course you guys probably already know which ones I use, or if not, you guys can search them up on Amazon. So basically what I did is I put half a cup of them into them, and on half of these muffins I actually put in some pecans as well, and I went ahead and put about a fourth cup or a half cup of pecans, and then I just mix them in with the chocolate chips. So those actually came out really amazing. I definitely recommend giving that a try. So this is how they came out, and you can see that they are just perfect. I mean, they're soft, they're not hard, they taste amazing. So definitely give a try if you love chocolate chip muffins or want to try something a little bit different with the pecans. These are amazing. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Make sure to like or subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video and the idea, and make sure to comment below if you guys get to try these, and I really appreciate any of your comments. So thanks again for watching.